Howdy everyone, this is Trisha and welcome to my channel. This is Monday, the day after the 4th of July. So I'm hoping everyone had a wonderful weekend. You have been able to celebrate the freedoms that you have and be respectful and appreciative of the country that you live in. I'm not having a craft today. I've had some things in my life that I'm concerned with, so you have to please excuse me. I do want to have some craft videos for you. This is not going to stop me right now. This is just me taking a little break. I didn't post anything for Thursday this past week, and I explained on my community page. Right now I'm concerned mostly for my father and of course for my mother. So I'm taking care of them, and I had to do something to help out my mom. I don't want to have her be alone and taking care of things. Of course, I also have my brother, but he's taking care of their house and their dogs. And so for right now, I've taken the role of taking care of my parents. And well, my parents are in San Antonio, so I drove them up on super early on Friday morning. This was kind of a surprise how quickly things were done after taking a long time. And I'll explain. My father has a history of heart failure. He has high blood pressure. He's got diabetes, numerous other things that he's dealing with. But he's been doing really well. And about almost 3 months ago, he started experiencing some swelling on his legs. They would get really swollen. It would hurt him a lot. It was really difficult for him to walk. He'd walk a little bit. He'd get really tired and winded. So he wasn't able to do the things that he normally does. Now, my father is a very active person. He always has been, always been a super hard worker. His whole life, always been a super hard worker. My father's the youngest of 13 kids, but he is a great example of how he was not coddled and spoiled because he was the baby. He worked very hard all his life. He's taken very good care of my mother, and he's taken good care of my brother and myself. And he's been able to help us out with many things, and not just us, but he's helped out other people. So he's a very hard worker. My dad would deserve the end of his day. My dad deserved to sit down and watch TV if that's what he could do. My father is retired. He has about, I don't know, about 20 years or so, well, maybe 25 years now that he's been retired. But my father's never been the kind of just sit down and just do nothing. He's found some things to do. He's had little hobbies. He's raised birds, chickens. He's done beautiful gardens. He's built things out of wood. He's just done a lot of things. He's also repaired some things for us in our homes. So, you know, at the end of his day, he's always deserved it. So, my father lately had to be sitting down all day because of this swelling, and this was not something that he was enjoying now. Like I said, he felt like he deserved the end of his day to rest and watch TV. So sitting down all day long, resting and watching TV was not something he felt he deserved, because he did nothing. He wasn't able to. And what he did try to do, he was out of breath. So he'd been going in and out to his doctor trying to say, well, what about the swelling? They thought it was maybe because he's diabetic, so he's swelling, so they tried treating that. It didn't help. They gave him things to try to reduce the water. So then finally he went to another doctor, a cardiologist, who looked at him. The doctor he's always pretty much gone to, he decided to go to him, and he felt like it was probably a valve in his heart, and he felt like if it was what he thought it was, he could take care of it, but if it was something more, then he would have to send him to Houston, to a heart specialist in Houston, where my father had been before and had open heart surgery. And that was very successful, and my dad recovered very well from that. So we thought, okay, we're going to be going to Houston eventually at some point, more than possible. But we didn't know if it was going to happen or not. We were hoping that, okay, he doesn't have to go anywhere. This doctor here can take care of the situation. And he could have done something for him and then said, okay, well, still that doesn't help. Now you got to go to Houston. And he didn't want to have to put my father through a procedure here, and then us having to take him to Houston, you know, after all, and then having to have another procedure. So he felt like, okay, well, let's wait, let's get some tests and make sure that this is the only problem. If it is, I'll take care of it. But I feel like there's something else further. So he did do some sonograms and some x-rays, and he saw something and he said, we're going to send you. But I don't know where the situation happened, and my father said, what about San Antonio? Isn't there San Antonio? Can I go to San Antonio? When he'd already been to Houston, so we already knew that, we could trust in Houston. And this doctor said, well, yeah, as a matter of fact, they have a very good cardiology, I don't know what you call it, but they have a good place there in San Antonio. It's very good. He knew a doctor personally, so he called up that doctor himself, talked to him, and this was on a Thursday, like about 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, keep in mind, we had an idea that we might possibly have to go to Houston, but there have been 2 weeks that went by during this whole time, and my mother was getting very restless. Are we going to have to go? Do we have to do the procedure here? My husband's in a lot of pain. We don't want to prolong this anymore. Please help him. And so I already knew that they would probably have to go over there, and my mom and I had talked about it, and I told her, Mom, if you have to go to Houston, I'm taking you. I'm going to drive you up there, stay up there with you. I don't want you to be alone. If you're able to stay in the hospital with him, that'll be great. But, we do have some family there in Houston or outside of Houston and nearby. So if they're closer than having to come all the way home, I would then go and stay with them if that was necessary. I hadn't talked to them about it, but I feel like, maybe, they would help out in some way. But if they didn't, that was fine. Or they wouldn't be able to, for example, because things were happening and we didn't know when exactly. They could have been going off to vacation or something. So I wasn't counting on anybody. I wasn't going to rely on anybody except for myself. So, but when my father was there and he mentioned San Antonio, the doctor said yes. He spoke to this doctor. He said, okay, you need to be there tomorrow, meaning Friday, which is this past Friday, at 11 o'clock. And if you can be there a lot earlier to sign in, and I'll do all the work, everything that has to be done to sign you in, so you'll be there way earlier because he'll take you. So my mom called me and she said, well, Pati, that's my name. She called me Pati. That's my nickname for Patricia, or Trisha is what I go by, but my family growing up was always in Pati. And she said, Pati, he has his appointment tomorrow, but it's in San Antonio. And I said, well, San Antonio's a little closer. It's easier. I already know the area somewhat. I feel comfortable with San Antonio more than I would of Houston. Houston is, the traffic is bad enough in San Antonio. This is just like double, quadruple in Houston. So I felt more comfortable, but this wasn't about me. And I said, Mom, let's go. I'm ready. We'll take off. We'll take off 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. We'll just do it. So I just grabbed things, and Thursday was supposed to be the day that I was going to make a video for you guys, like a recipe or something. And I said, well, no, I'm just not going to do it. I need to take care of this. So I posted on my community page that I was leaving, that my father had a situation with his heart valve and I had to take him to San Antonio. So that's the reason why I didn't have a video, and I'm not doing a video today. Now you're thinking, well, that background looks familiar. Aren't you home? Yes, I am home today. Today is Monday, like I said. I took my parents on. We were there by 9:30ish inside the hospital. We were inside the hospital by 9:30. We weren't exactly where we were supposed to be, but we found somehow everything worked out. The correct doctor and everything came to see him, and it was what the other doctor felt it was, and that's why he got sent there. So the situation is that my father has, there's 2 valves, and one of them is really tight, kind of closing up, and so it's not circulating, liquid, blood, and things like that, oxygen through his body properly. The other valve has a leakage, and that fluid is what's going into his body and causing that swelling. So this is something that they can take care of, but he felt like, well, my father at that point right now, he was not in a good condition to have like a surgery or anything like that. He felt that we need to get the swelling down first. I'm not going to do anything on him. It could be very, rough on him. And so we were not going to, he used other words, but I'm just going to say rough. I don't want to, Anyway, so it was going to be rough on him. So he felt like, we're going to take care of the swelling first. We need to get all this liquid out of him, because my father generally weighs between 176 to 182. That's his normal, weight. But he was weighing at 206. So that was like 30 pounds of liquid suddenly on him. So the doctor said, okay, that's 30 pounds of liquid. We need to get this out of him. He was put immediately on IVs and a couple of medications to help him relieve that liquid out of himself. My father we had to bring him in a wheelchair, everything, because he was having a lot of trouble walking. I could hear him in the car when we were on our way driving up. It was 3.5 hours, almost 4 hours to get there, to get to the hospital and everything. So the whole time he was in the back seat, and my mother and I were even planning, okay, on the way back, this is what we're going to do. We're going to put him in the front seat instead, because it leans all the way back to the bed. We'll put some pillows under his feet. If he has to have any kind of procedures, might be uncomfortable, so we want to make his ride back home as comfortable as we can. So anyway, on the way over there, he just slept through the whole time, but I could hear him making little noises and things like that. And my mom says that's him all night long, waking up in pain, and she's massaging his legs. And it's really hard because his legs are so swollen, they're hard. I felt his legs, I touched him, and it was like I was touching a cast, like if you had broken your leg and you had a cast on you and the plaster. That's what it felt like. And his tummy was so bloated and hard. Now he usually has a little bit of a belly, but not anything major. But this is like a swollen, almost like a watermelon. If you touch it, how hard it was. And so that was all very troubling to see. Not only that, but my father's been like, he's our hero. You know what I mean? A strong guy. When he had his bypass surgery, that was really hard on my brother and I to see him, just debilitated like that during that time. So then seeing him recuperate and being the man that we remember him to be was like, wow, okay, that's the dad that we know. But it was really hard on us. And now my dad's getting close to being 80 years old. So we know that he's going to slow down. But this what is happening, or is what happened to him this last couple of months. Him always being the one that, oh yeah, let's go to the flea market, let's go have breakfast, let's go have lunch, let's go here and there. He's running back and forth to Lowe's or Home Depot, always buying something to do something for the plants. And then suddenly see him going, I don't want to go anywhere. Dad, it's Father's Day, do you want to take it, let's go have lunch somewhere, breakfast, what do you want? Oh, I don't want to go anywhere, I don't feel good, I can't walk. So we ended up getting something and taking it to his house, and having lunch with him there, and even seeing him kind of down. It was like, okay, this is not the way our dad is. So it's weighing on us emotionally, and because we want our dad to be the man that he is, and we want to just take care of him. So he's there now. I was there Friday. I was there pretty much the whole day. And then my husband said, hey, I got out of work early, I'm taking off, I'm going over there. So he came down, we were up to San Antonio as well. So anyhow, I was there on Friday, the whole time there at the hospital till about 3, 4, I don't know, it was close. Actually it was 2:45, I remember now, because I was thinking while I was there, I was like, is my mom going to be able to stay in the room with him? Should I get a hotel with 2 rooms, 2 beds? What do I do? And I was looking around at all the hotels, because it's San Antonio, Fiesta, Texas, SeaWorld. It is a vacation, tourism place, and it is 4th of July weekend. Everything was either booked. If it wasn't booked, it was incredibly expensive. So I started, like, oh my God, this is going to be costing a lot of money. I don't know how long I'm going to be here. How long should I book the room for? That kind of thoughts were going through my head. Anyway, yeah, that kind of started. So I finally found a room that I thought, okay, well, that's reasonable. It's close by the hospital in case I have to get myself back up here. The whole time I was thinking, well, maybe I don't need a hotel. Maybe I can just stay in the waiting room. I don't know, all these thoughts were going through my head, but at the same time I was thinking, I really don't need to be, like this person who's super tired, out of energy, because my mom's going to need me, and we don't know what's going to happen, when the surgery's going to happen, if he's going to have to be in ICU or not. We didn't know any of those things, so I didn't know, and I thought, I need to go ahead and just get a hotel and get myself in there and rest. Try to sleep, because I didn't sleep at all Thursday night. I was up the whole night. I think I may have slept, a few minutes. It was 4 o'clock in the morning, and I said, well, we said we were going to leave at 5, so I'm getting up. I got up. I did put an alarm for 4. Actually went off right after I sat up on the bed, and called my mom. She said, we're getting ready right now, because she said, if you wake up at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the night, and you can't sleep and you want to drive, just call us, we'll take off. So they were ready. My mom was ready. And so I was there. We were there we were actually in the ER from 9:30 till about, yeah, well, I was there till 2:45 when I finally got a room. I was on my phone and I said, "Oh, I'll just get that." The Wi-Fi there was so slow too, so it took me a long time to finally find something that I felt like, okay. And it wasn't the best place. It was not even all that comfortable, but it was a bed. It was clean. It was clean. That's all I can say. It was clean, and they were very nice at the place. So, you know, I got the room, and then I told my mom, well, it says I can check in at 3 o'clock. It's already 3 o'clock. I'm gonna go check in. Oops, little bug. I knew my husband was already driving up, so I told my mom, and then I'm gonna meet up with my husband. He's gonna be up here, so I'm gonna go take a nap, I told her. And I'm gonna meet up with him. I'll bring you dinner, come see what's going on. Not only that, but then we also had my son there in San Antonio, so you know, anything she needed, if I wasn't there for some reason, she could help out. But we wanted to go see our grandson. So, but then we also ended up telling him, you know what, we're going to be there on Saturday morning instead, because he was a little bit sick and he had to, you know, have him, you know, rest. And we said, okay, let the baby rest. Oh, he's 2 years old now. But let him rest. We'll see him Saturday morning, and this way I can take care of things for my mom and, you know, etc. So, I took off, and then I got to my hotel room, and as soon as I got in there, I called my mom to let her know, yes, I'm here, I got a room. And she tells me, oh, well, they finally moved your dad to another room. We're on the 6th floor, etc. She told me everything. And then she said, oh, it's very comfortable in here. There's a recliner in here. I can stay in here. There's not a problem. You don't have to get another, you know, worry about me. I'm not going to be uncomfortable. You know, don't worry about me. And I'm like, well, Mom, I'm going to take you dinner. She goes, no, don't bring me any dinner. Because I had brought her something from the well, we had gone to the cafeteria, brought up stuff to eat also. And she said, don't even worry. We'll take care of it in the morning. Bring me some breakfast. And I said, okay. So Friday night, she spent it there in the room with him, and we spent it in the hotel room. Early Saturday, we took her some breakfast. I visited for a little while. We saw my dad. He was already looking a little bit better. He looked a little bit more comfortable, obviously, because it was in a little bit wider bed, a little more comfortable little room, less people walking by, because, you know, it's not the emergency room anymore that he was in. He was now in an actual room. There was a couple of chairs in there that were very comfortable, and then there was a recliner where my mom said she laid back and, you know, she could sleep on it. She said, oh, and the girls were really nice. They also brought me this and they brought me that, so I didn't need, you know, you were worried about my dinner. That got taken care of. We had eaten a good lunch is what I was saying, and I never got to finish that. But we had a really good lunch. I know my mom doesn't eat very much, so she had even saved the leftovers. But anyway, yeah, so I knew she was okay. So then once I knew that on Saturday morning everything was okay, we went to go visit my grandson. Called her up, do you need anything? She needed a few things, so we went running around, bought some things. You know, my dad needed some shaving gel or some foam, some razors. She needed soap. You know, she had brought clothes. Oh, and that's the other thing. My mom packed her clothes in 2, you know, like paper gift bags. Like, she just threw all her clothes in there. And I told my husband, I can't believe my mom. And then, by the way, when I had dropped her off we had left everything in the car. So Saturday morning, I wanted to get that all to her clothes and everything, besides bringing her breakfast. So Friday night, she didn't have any of those things, but she said she was fine, she was comfortable, she didn't need anything. So Friday night, when my husband and I went to dinner, since we weren't going to see our grandson, we went to Walmart. And I went and I bought this big bag that had a zipper, so I could put all her clothes in there, because I told my husband, the minute that I carry one of those bags, and I bet you walking up into the hospital to get to the room, that bag's probably going to tear on me. The clothes are already kind of flopping out of it as it is, because they were up to the top. And I go, she needs a bag, and then she needs an extra bag to put in her dirty clothes, and then another little bag to put extra things. Because, you know, when you're in the hospital, they give you things also for the patient, and then you got to put them somewhere. So anyway, so she needed, you know, things like some Tylenol and other things like that, which we went to go get her, and I got her the bag. So Saturday morning, I delivered those things to her, visited. Then we went shopping for a little bit, and we went to go visit my grandson. I don't know, we didn't go shopping till Sunday, actually. We visited my grandson on Saturday. We spent the whole day, had lunch with them. Then I called my mom up, and we went and got dinner. I delivered some dinner to her. Saw her and my dad for a little bit. And every time we'd go up to the hospital, we had to park in the parking garage. but we were there less than an hour, so we never paid parking. It was always free, drive out, thank you very much, have a good day. So only the first time that I parked up, because I was there like 7 hours or so, something like that, and I think I paid like $6 parking, so it was no big deal. So anyway, I ended up booking my hotel for 2 nights. So we stayed there Friday night, Saturday night, and then Sunday. My husband said he was going to come back home, and was I going to come back home or was I going to stay? And then I said, you know what? I was talking to my mom, and my mom said, go ahead and go home. I'm fine here. We don't know when he's going to have this procedure done. We don't know if after the procedure, if he's going to be okay in a regular room or if he's going to be in an ICU. She goes, go home, get some rest, sleep well in your own bed, and then I will call you and let you know how things are going. So I'm actually going to call her because she doesn't call me. It's already Monday. She doesn't call me. And I'm thinking because it's, the day after 4th of July, maybe the doctors are taking a little vacation, even though that doctor did go back and see him Saturday, and he brought in another heart specialist or surgeon so they could look at everything and discuss what kind of surgery he would need or how they would go about it, and when they thought it was, would be a good point to do this. But again, it was based on how these liquids, how they were getting swelling down on my dad. So anyway, long story short, I'm home right now, and I'm thinking I'm gonna call my brother. I don't know if he wants to go up there. We're not in any emergency right now with my father. Everything's fine. My mother's comfortable. She's fine. And like I said, my son is there if she needs anything. But I did make sure she had all the things that she needed. I even went to buy her a ton of fruit. I made her like a big bag of fruit so that she could have during the day, so munch on something. And the nurses there, everybody is so good at this Methodist hospital in San Antonio. Everybody's so kind. Every time that I would walk around the hallways and I was lost, someone would say, do you need help? Do you need help? Well, here, I will take you. It wasn't just oh, it's down the hall, there it is. They would be like, I'll show you, I'm going that way too. If they were or not, I don't know. And they would take me. They would even get on the elevator with me and take me down to places. And they would do the same thing with my mom. So my mom's like, no, I'm fine. And she said that even the nurses, yesterday when I was driving home. I was driving home in my own car. My husband was driving his truck. So we were driving in 2 separate vehicles. And then at some point we just called each other and we're on the phone the whole time so that we wouldn't, feel sleepy, because there's a point coming home, like the last 30 minutes, that the sleep hit us hard every time. So I told my husband, we're going to have to talk on those last 30 minutes on the phone till we get home. So that's what we had planned. But anyway, I had also talked to my mom, and she said, Mija, which means daughter, she goes, I am fine, don't worry about me, I got everything you brought me. Like, I have a whole grocery store of needs here, and I've got all these things you brought me. I have all my clothes, I'm comfortable, I took a nice shower. The nurses here, they're all like, let me bring you a snack, let me bring you this, bring you that. So they bring my mom all kinds of stuff. Oh, you want me to go get you a sandwich? And they've been bringing her stuff. So she feels comfortable so far. So I want to see my brother. Maybe wants to drive up just for the day, like drive up there. We'll let him visit, because they can only have 2 people in there, and my mom's one, and I don't want my mom to come down, so my brother and I can both go up there, unless my mom feels like she wants to stretch her legs. But when I feel like, well, maybe I'll take her somewhere, and let her do stuff and leave my brother there for 2-3 hours with my dad, and then we'll come back if needed sooner, well, I'll do this according to how my mom feels, because she might feel like, no, what if somebody comes in and they want to do this or that, and I need to be there. So it's all going to depend on that. I'm doing a lot of talking, you guys, but I just wanted to share, this thought and why I don't have a craft video. And I know y'all are going to say, well, don't worry about the craft video. Well, but then there's some people that are like, hey, where's the videos? I haven't seen a video. Why are you going to have one? And it's all in good intentions, but I wanted to just share this bit and why, kind of like, I've not been well to myself, but I feel better now. So I feel like, okay, I should come home and rest and take care of myself, because I need to take care of myself if I want to take care of my parents. So I did feel a little bit selfish. I felt like that, coming home. And I feel like maybe if I talked about it and kind of, I know my mom said it's okay, but it's still, I feel like I'm still 280 miles away, back home. And I'm over here in the comfort of my own home, and my parents are not. And, guilt. I'm not being selfish, but I can't help in my mind think, am I being selfish? But I'm thinking, I have to take care of myself. it makes sense to be able to take care of them. So if my brother, I don't know, we don't go tomorrow, we'll go Wednesday or Thursday or whatever, or maybe by then we'll find out that he's going to have the procedure done. I'm hoping that this whole swelling goes out quickly and this procedure can get done and we can get that taken care of, and then my dad will come through and won't need an ICU, and maybe he'll have a room where he can be comfortable and then come home. Because when he had his open heart surgery, he was in the ICU for like 1 day, and then they put him in a regular room, and then they sent him home. So he was there for 2 days after, and that was it. And then once he was home, he was resting the whole time, and then he was up and doing things. So, but like I said, he's older now. That was, some time ago, and he's older now, and but thank you all for taking the time. If you sat through this whole thing and listened to me talking, thank you very much for your time. I want to thank everyone for your thoughts and your lovely prayers. I want a response. I actually wrote one response and I copied and pasted because I felt like, I'm going to be typing the whole thing over to everybody, and it was just a lot easier for me to just do that. But because I wanted to respond to each and everyone who did leave me a comment on the community page and said something. So if you did after this morning when I did that, if you responded after that and you don't have a response from me, it's not because I didn't want to respond to you, it's just because you responded after I responded to those who had already, today, this morning. So thank you all very much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your love and your prayers. And I love you all very much. Thank you for being my friends. If you're not a subscriber and you're watching this and you're wondering what the heck is this, or if you're new to my channel and you're wondering what the heck is this, sometimes I just want to share my life and my thoughts. So thank you so much for being kind and sitting through this. So y'all take care. Bless you, and I will give you an update. And I'll try to do some sort of a video. I don't know what. I was gonna video around the garden, but y'all have a great week.